The teddy bear and the death behind it. At first glance, the teddy bear seems like the most innocent object in a child's room, but its story begins with blood. In 1902, President Theodore Roosevelt went on a hunting trip in Mississippi. Guides cornered and tied up a bear, urging Roosevelt to shoot it. Roosevelt refused, finding it unsporting. Newspapers spun this into a cute cartoon, which inspired toy makers to create the Teddy's bear. Yet here's the irony. The toy came not from compassion, but from an act of cruelty. It was the spectacle of a dying animal that created one of the world's most beloved comfort objects. And in a deeper sense, the teddy bear masks a philosophical truth. We often turn trauma into play, transforming scenes of violence into things we hand to children. Mannequins and the echoes of death. Mannequins seem harmless, standing quietly in shop windows. But their origin lies in death. In the 18th and 19th centuries, mannequins were modeled not from fashion but from corpses. Medical schools needed bodies for dissection, but cadavers were scarce. The solution? Wax and wood mannequins built from careful study of the dead. Many were cast directly from real corpses. Later, when stores adopted mannequins, they borrowed their uncanny stillness from these macabre models. And this explains why mannequins unsettle us even today. We subconsciously register them as echoes of death, frozen in time. Philosophers call this the uncanny valley, where something looks almost human but not quite alive. A reminder of mortality in plastic form. Lipstick and the poison kiss. Lipstick has existed for thousands of years, but the history is darker than vanity. Ancient Egyptian lip color contained crushed beetles, giving it a vivid red. In the 16th century, European lipsticks were made with cinnabar, a mercury compound that slowly poisoned the wearer. Later, in the 19th century, many lipsticks were blended with lead salts. Women painted beauty onto their faces while unknowingly inhaling toxins that caused neurological damage. There's a disturbing philosophy here. Lipstick is meant to make lips more desirable, yet its origins are bound to death and decay from within. It's the paradox of beauty, attraction paired with destruction, the kiss as both intimacy and slow poison. The microwave and the shadow of war. The microwave oven is a staple of modern convenience, but its invention was an accident born of warfare. During World War II, radar engineers noticed that standing near active magnetrons, the core of radar devices, caused chocolate bars in their pockets to melt. Percy Spencer, an engineer at Raytheon, realized this effect could cook food. The comforting sound of reheated leftovers is linked to technology designed for detection and destruction. In essence, the microwave is a byproduct of war repurposed for peace. Philosophically, it shows how tools of violence often bleed into everyday life. The line between a kitchen and a battlefield is thinner than we'd like to believe. Umbrellas and the language of death. The umbrella is another harmless tool with unsettling roots. In ancient Egypt and China, umbrellas symbolize royalty and divine power. But in 18th century Europe, they became something else, tools of assassination. A notorious example occurred in 1978 when Bulgarian dissident Georgy Markov was killed in London by a modified umbrella. It fired a pellet of ricin into his leg, disguised as a simple poke. The umbrella's shadow isn't just about weather. It embodies the philosophy of hidden death in the ordinary. An object designed to shield life from rain can just as easily hide a weapon meant to take it away. Clocks and the fear of time. A clock seems like the most neutral object in a room, ticking away seconds. Yet in the Middle Ages, clocks were tied not to productivity but to death. Public clock towers often included Grim Reaper figurines or skeletons striking the bell, reminding citizens that every hour gone was one closer to the grave. Even the word deadline carries echoes of mortality, originally meaning the line prisoners could not cross without being shot. Philosophically, clocks are devices of existential horror. They are not just measuring time, they are measuring the approach of death. Every tick is a countdown, every alarm, a reminder that existence is finite. Chairs and the torture within comfort. The chair is an object we rarely question. Yet, in history, chairs have been symbols of power. Thrones, electric chairs, and interrogation seats. The electric chair itself was invented not for compassion, but as a competitive publicity stunt between Thomas Edison and George Westinghouse during the War of Currents. Edison wanted to prove alternating current was deadly, so he pushed for the first electric chair execution. Even something as simple as a seat becomes loaded with meaning. Is it a tool of comfort or a device of control? A chair can signify rest, rule, or ruin, a throne of kings or a weapon of the state. Mirrors and the fear of the soul. A mirror is just glass and silver, yet countless cultures have feared it. In ancient folklore, mirrors were thought to trap the soul. Victorians covered mirrors when someone died so the spirit wouldn't be caught inside. Modern psychology explains our unease with the mirror test. When animals or humans confront their reflection, they face the existential terror of recognizing themselves. The disturbing origin of mirrors is not chemical or historical, but philosophical. They force us to confront identity, mortality, and the unsettling fact that the self we see may not be the true self. Dolls and the spirits inside them. Dolls, like teddy bears, are children's toys, but their history is entangled with ritual and the supernatural. Ancient Japanese Hina dolls were believed to absorb misfortune, carrying away evil spirits. In some cultures, dolls were buried with the dead or used in curses. Even in modern psychology, dolls are unsettling because they mimic human features but lack life, another case of the uncanny valley. Every doll carries this contradiction, created for innocence but shaped by beliefs in spirits, curses, and hidden power. The disturbing origin isn't just history, it's in the human brain itself, wired to fear things that look alive but aren't. Candles and the shadows of death. Candles feel romantic, but their origin is darker. For centuries, candles were made from tallow, animal fat from slaughtered cattle and sheep. Rooms lit by candles were literally illuminated by the dead. Even more disturbing, candles were used in funerary rituals placed around corpses to guide souls. The candle then is a paradox, a light against the dark, powered by death itself. Its flame is a symbol of hope, but also a burning reminder that all light consumes something living. Books and the knowledge that kills. Books are seen as symbols of learning, but history proves otherwise. In the 15th century, certain printed books were banned because they spread dangerous ideas. Philosophically, books carry disturbing origins because they represent information as a weapon. Wars, genocides, and revolutions have all been fueled by words on a page. Even the material of books is eerie. In rare cases, 19th century anthropodermic bibliopegy saw books bound in human skin. Knowledge, literally wrapped in death. Keys and the lock of fear. Keys symbolize safety, but they exist only because of fear. The earliest locks weren't built for houses, they were for tombs. Ancient Egyptians used locks to seal the dead in pyramids, ensuring robbers couldn't enter. In other words, the first locks weren't for protecting the living, but the possessions of the dead. Every time you turn a key, you're part of this old equation: fear of theft, fear of loss, fear of the unknown. The key is a simple tool, but its very existence reminds us that humans live in constant suspicion of one another.